Well, his ratio was good last week. Most quarterbacks are really excited about a 3-to-1 ratio, but it's flipped in the wrong direction. He threw 3 interceptions, not touchdown passes, and he only had the 1 TD pass in that game. So he's trying to turn that around and find a way for his team to win.
On the ground, this is Rashad Penny, and he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. On 2nd down, here's Penny. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get this up to about the 40. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. 3rd down here.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Here's Wilson. And that is incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Chargers will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. So out come the Chargers. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
14 yards is the pickup there and a Charger 1st down.
That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25. The numbers a week ago from Melvin Gordon. 20 carries, 89 yards. Now, before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Here we go now.
On second down, they'll run with Gordon. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. The all-pro safety Eric Berry in on the stop.
I can't help it. Every time I see Eric Berry make a play, as we just saw him make a tackle there, I just want to stand up and applaud.
Because he went to Tennessee like you?
Well, that doesn't hurt one bit, but how about the comeback? I mean, he came back from beating cancer and getting back to Pro Bowl level, one of the best players in the game.
And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage, but it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that to pick up the first down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. In on the stop that time, Terrell Basham.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He's got his tight end, Jake Bunt. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that.
You like that?
Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on there. And here's a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, have that dagger play, have that play and just finish them off right now, because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
Earl Thomas in on the stop.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Back to throw here. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
This offense 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though. 3rd and long. Back to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll try to run for it with Penny. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Strong start by this defense. 3rd and short, they go with a run. Stonewalled for no gain.
I played for a guy who always talked about setting tones and meeting force with force. That felt like it on that play, didn't it? And they met it in a big way and won. What a great job by the defense.
Over!
They'll start on the ground. This is Gordon on 1st down. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's going to... Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. 20. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. It's a big one there for the Chargers. 69 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Now Gordon on 1st down. Gordon loses the football. It's loose. And the Seahawks have recovered. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
And they've got it here with a 1st down.
Let's go.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Shotgun.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Two first downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. On First and 10, it's Wilson. It's caught, Lockett. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Here's Penny on the counter. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And that is incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. The Charger offense making their way back out there. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now the handoff comes to Gordon. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Brought down by Nate Gary.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appered to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The Chargers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And they'll run it here. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That goes for a gain of 31.
A lot of receivers see the drag route as a risk-reward type of a play. The risk, going into the middle of the field where there's some big people who want to hit you. But the reward is oftentimes you get lost in coverage, running a little bit underneath. And when you catch it just right, as we just saw there, the end result can be a big, big play.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Melvin Gordon, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Chargers are able to strike for 6. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Well, let's gaze our attention as the offense takes the field on Rashad Penny. And we check the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
And now the Chargers are going to signal for another timeout. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Here's a give to Penny. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. On 3rd down, Wilson. Hall bringing it in. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
The Chargers getting set to go. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Escapes the set, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
The Chargers on third down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Southern California after this. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And his throw here's incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves them with 3rd and just a couple. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. From the shotgun, Wilson keeps himself upright. But now he's swallowed up and taken down.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been terrific so far. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
They go play action here on 1st down. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. Blue line it. Blue line it.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Leopard!
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. On is the Chargers punter now, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Well, let's gaze our attention as the offense takes the field on Rashad Penny. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game.
And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. And before the second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. From the gun, it's Wilson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Half. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the 3rd quarter. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. They'll start the 3rd quarter on the ground with Gordon. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Now the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still 4th down.
On is the Chargers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker board?
Yeah, those two.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Come on, let's go.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. The tackle made there by Jared Davis.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. He finds his man, Baldwin. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 17, and it'll give him a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Penny, a first down carry. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Wilson. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 9. Play action. Now Wilson. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
He's got the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on 4th down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hold.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles.
And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with him punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Watch you now, Barney! Barney!
They'll keep it on the ground. This time it's Gordon. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. It's a gain of 6, moves them to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The Chargers on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Here we go now! 3-19!
They'll drop to throw.
3-19!
And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Instead, it's 4th.
You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
They'll try and get the run game going. This is Penny, and he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Play action. It's Wilson. And this one is incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And it's 3rd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Penny. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They keep it with Penny on 1st down. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now Wilson on second down. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
From the gun on third down, Wilson leaves it for Penny. And they showed a little athletic juke, but then the daylight quickly closed. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field.
Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
A good pickup there at 22. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback has to slide and find open space to throw.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle, because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
The Chargers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 8.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Looking to throw. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field.
These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline, because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They begin with a run by Penny. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker.
Again, it's Penny. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Back now at the StubHub Center in Carson. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle.
False start. Offense.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
The Seahawks were the most penalized team in the NFL last year, more than 9 a game, and now they've got 1st and 15.
Operating from the gun. Wilson looking for Baldwin. Intercepted. Desmond King picks it. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
Brandon, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find
the air. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 18 big yards on that one, and a Charger first. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now back to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
A run for Nick Chubb, and he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And his kick is indeed good. And that will make our score 9-0. A big one there. That gives him a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Now it's Wilson. They set up the screen to Penny. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. That'll go as a loss of 9, and it leads to 3rd down. And that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there because trying it is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or 2 short, and it's 4th down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They'll run with Penny. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short. And he didn't get there. Mike Zimmer got to be unhappy with how that turned out. And the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Over the middle, it's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Charger first.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Here we go.
Another tote for Gordon. He's been busy this afternoon. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it first and goal.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Two of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on second and goal. They'll give it to Chubb. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Nick Chubb, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead. And nothing special there. They show they were going to run the football. They ran it. They got it in.
Like old-time football, right? Hey, this is exactly what we're going to do. Straight ahead power, and they got it done.
Here we go now. 3-19.
He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none, because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4th, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold
But he
up.
trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it. Be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This is 3rd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says, try something different. Try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
Now it's Wilson. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try and punch it in. Gordon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And a little bit of space there takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
Right there. All right. All right, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll look to throw. Got a man. It's Allen for the Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Chargers are going to add on to their lead. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. As Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. It's caught. Lock it. Time for a break. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
We got three, fellas. Go ahead.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. It's been that kind of a day so far throwing the football. It just seems like nothing going right offensively.
Yeah, it's a catch that should have been made, pure and simple. And look, everything else that goes into running a good pass route, throw it all out if you don't catch the ball.
Been that kind of game throwing the football so far, nothing going right offensively. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This is 3rd and 10. They go play action with Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Well, throw on 1st down with Wilson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Wilson will throw again. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
To throw again is Wilson. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Again, Wilson. And his throw is incomplete.
All right, Captain, it's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays, fire another one into the end zone.
And this is going to be incomplete. Now, Russell Wilson appears to be shaken up. And you know they're holding their breath over on that sideline. He's still down. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Lambeau will put this one through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Great job by... Well, partner, even though my phone alarm failed me this morning and I missed our AM workout, we still made it through this thing together, didn't we?
Well, you always know I need extra workouts just to keep up with you, so it doesn't matter. But thanks for sharing a booth, and thanks for being our quarterback.
Yeah, you're the quarterback. Always a pleasure, my friend. So for the home team here, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Southern California.